Good morning, Jem.
Good morning, Nick. How are you?
I don't really want to talk. Just before this episode, Jem came out and said, I love the sound of my own voice. So I thought I'd just wait for you to do everything now. God, I put you on the spot, haven't I?
Don't just say it like, I didn't just walk in and say, I love my voice.
You pretty much did.
No, whatever.
We had a witness.
Who have we got today?
Speaking of that, we've got the perfect witness for it as well.
She really did, Nick.
Yeah, there we go. So we have now the absolute undisputed queen of HR. Now, the reason that I say that is because I think if you ran the polls, it would have been like a little bit torn, maybe 50-50, maybe 60-40 either way. But seeing as the other person in the poll has now basically retired, now she's the undisputed queen of HR. Without any further ado, and let me get my pronunciations right, Shelly Antczak, but for our Polish listeners, Shelly Antczak. How close am I? From Raspberry HR, Shelly!
Hello.
Hi, Shelly.
I'm really impressed. That was good.
Wow.
We've gone global. We were looking at the stats, actually. We do have now global listeners. So
We're international now.
So now for the Polish listeners, I have now ticked the box.
Amazing.
Yeah, both of them. Anyway, hi, Shelly.
Hello, Nick.
Are you glad to be here?
Shelley's sitting there like, why have I even agreed to
Thrilled.
this?
Right, great. Guess what?
utterly
We've been
thrilled.
trying to get her on for 50 episodes. And now we've finally got her. And we're here just going, yeah, let's just keep talking about the different international pronunciations of your surname.
I just want to make you wait.
Yeah, well, guess what? Good things come to those who wait, right?
Hell yeah.
There we go. Okay, so Shelly, let's go back, 10 years? School.
Okay.
Grew up locally? Ipswich
Very
girl?
much so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Come on, which was the school?
Ipswich through and through.
Which school?
Various primary schools,
Okay.
but high school was Northgate.
Oh, she's a poshie.
Oh, God.
She's a poshie.
Okay.
Not quite Kesgrave poshie. Can't ask about houses.
And not quite Stoke posh.
Not quite. Do you know this is why we need to get the podcast going video? Because Shelley's sitting in her chair, nearly weeing herself laughing when she mentioned Stoke and posh.
My primary schools were all over Ipswich, so I have lived in various parts of town.
Okay, which ones have you done?
The posh bit is really, really funny to me because it's I didn't land at Northgate on that basis by any stretch.
Which were the primary schools?
I did. I was at Springfield.
Yep.
I went to White House.
Okay.
And then over to Sidegate.
Okay. And then Sidegate was the
And then
feeder off
Sidegate was the
into
feeder to
Northgate.
Northgate, yeah.
So I'm guessing, so you must have gone West Ipswich and
Yeah,
North
but
Ipswich.
my family were, or both sides of the family were from all sorts of parts of Ipswich. So primarily Chantry, and my dad's family sort of came originally from Gainsborough.
Okay, nice.
So yeah,
So-
all over. We hail from all over.
School was a good success for you?
I loved school. I loved the structure of school. And I was good at school. So
Then you
I'm,
went into
I,
HR. There's a
unfortunately,
shock.
I'm not one of your guests who's going to say,
I hated
I
school.
hated school, I was rubbish, because I can't say that. I was really academic and I really liked the structure. So, it happened to be,
So,
it
so,
happened to
I'm,
measure what I was good at.
so I'm guessing it was then further education because you loved it so much?
I stayed on at sixth form.
Mhm.
Yep.
At Northgate.
At Northgate, yeah.
I hated
Um,
Northgate Sixth Form.
Did you go?
Did you go?
What?
She's so
Hey.
shocked you went.
Yeah.
Not to sixth form.
But-
Nick,
but-
you surprised me.
For a whole few months and then went, nah.
Really?
Yeah.
Just not for you? Was it? Was it?
The thing was that, so when we came from one of the premier high schools in Ipswich, Coppleston, yeah, she's pulling the face.
Where my kids now go?
Yeah, but no laughing when I said it's a premier. She's like, yeah, competition.
Still a rivalry.
Rivalry,
I
of
can't believe my
course,
kids
yeah.
are Copplestonians.
That's good.
Copplestonians.
And so our feeder at the time, because obviously we're going back in the day, Coppleston didn't have a sixth form, so it was
Yeah.
feed off to Northgate.
Yep.
And it felt like we were treated as young adults at Coppleston. And then when we went to Northgate sixth form, it felt like we'd gone backwards and were treated like kids.
Ah,
And so I did about 6 months and went, yeah, this isn't for me.
well, I knew no different.
Yeah, I was going to say if you just carried on through.
Yeah,
Okay, so A-levels in HR, and HR?
I did. Well, God, now because you're going back to the very early 90s now.
Okay.
So that's quite hard to think. I did English literature, social biology, and business studies. What was really lovely was I did business studies at college.
Okay.
So we left, they didn't have it at the sixth form. So it was 1 or 2 parts of the week that we needed to go into town and go to the college. And as you say about some sixth forms can be more school-like, it was lovely to go to college and it be more grown-up experience, different environment and lecturers and people you call by their first name, not Miss
Or
so
you could have just done year 10, year 11 at Cobblestone. You'd have felt that anyway.
Yeah, I lived like within about 20 yards of Northgate, so it was...
Yeah, okay. All right. There's great logic in that one.
Yeah.
And then uni? Were you the academics
I did
that
a
you
degree,
decided?
but I did it here.
Okay.
Didn't want to go away.
Okay.
My expectation that was, there was a certain expectation that I would do that. But when push came to shove, I had a steady boyfriend, I had a steady job, I had a little baby brother who I adored and a family I was really close to. And when it came to the crunch, I couldn't do it. So I stayed here.
Yeah.
And what did you study?
I had a business
By the way,
degree.
if I'm brutally honest, we don't actually ask you because like, oh wow, this is massively important. I just like to know anyone who's got anything about psychology. And then whenever you're talking to them, you go, I know they're analysing me and it just freaks me out a little bit. But yeah, let me guess, psychology.
I'm going to bear that in mind about you. Yeah. Business again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, with business, particularly with all the options to do with marketing. I always wanted to be a marketeer.
I think you'd be an excellent marketeer.
I just couldn't get a job when I left.
Okay.
So one day you sort of, back then you'd mosey down the high street with your CV and Polly Pocket.
Yeah.
Did you go with an NRA?
Talk to people.
Yeah.
Did you go with an NRA because you thought it was really important?
Fancy modern stuff. They didn't come out in my time.
They definitely did.
No, they did not.
They definitely...
not what I never had an NRA, which is a national record of achievement.
I have.
Yes.
Do you know mine's full of my swimming certificates?
Yeah, it was like
You put
anything you could find, any certificate.
I think my prefect tie got shoved in anything that I was.
It literally was like
I didn't have much achievement.
Scouts, learn how to tie a knot. Quick,
yeah, that's going in there.
Get it in your NRA.
Yeah, no, they didn't. I think my little sister had one, but we did not. Did not.
It was honestly so pushed that this is so important.
It was almost as important as your GCSEs.
In my life, ever looked at it.
Yeah.
No one cared about that shit.
It was so funny because you'd go into your employer, like your first interview, and you'd be there with your NRA, and then they'd just go like, "What's that?"
And I'm like,
it's my NRA, and they go, "What's that?" And then you realise that
you start flicking through. Well, I swam 50 metres. Yeah. They're like, I don't care about that.
Yeah, we've been sold a lie. For 5 years, we've been building evidence for our NRA that no one gives a shit about. Yeah, that's amazing.
No, not.
You didn't have that.
No expectation. No, very little career.
So you just had your CV.
Maybe you would have got your job in marketing if you'd had your NRA.
Maybe,
yeah,
maybe.
Maybe that's why you didn't get it.
Yeah. I've been scammed.
Yeah.
So, what was first job?
Well, there's first jobs and first jobs, isn't there?
Okay, not the school first job. First real adult job.
Grown-up job.
Grown-up job.
I worked in Ipswich at Royal Sun Alliance in their call centre. It was that time back in the 90s when everyone I knew worked for one insurance company or another.
We literally had that conversation.
We were having that conversation. It was like, apparently it's either Willis, AXA or Churchill's, but not if you're Lou Gladwell.
She said Morgan Law.
Morgan Law? What? And then, I went to somewhere else. Highway something. What? It's like, yeah, didn't do the normal. So which one did you do? AXA?
No, it was Royal Sun Alliance.
Okay.
Sun Alliance.
Or no, actually, it became Royal Sun Alliance. It started off as Royal Alliance, Sun Alliance Connections, I think it was.
Okay.
And it was, call centre, just processing in a team of people. And it was just really, really good fun.
The people or the job?
Both, actually.
Okay.
Was that a lot of young people like
it was such a lovely community, a decent number of people there. All sort of very similar ages, lots and lots of people in early career, so good social life. And I just really enjoyed it. And I just really enjoyed, because all my part-time jobs before that really had been sort of customer service focused and retail. So I just loved talking to people and being really, really helpful. And it was very structured.
Did you like the whole office aspect? Yeah.
Yeah. And also it was that we got to dress up for the office.
Yeah.
So yeah.
There we go. There's the person who wants the suit.
Yeah. We had someone on here and he said, what was your goal as you were growing up? I just wanted to wear a suit.
That was their goal. Didn't care what the job was. Just wanted to wear a suit.
Well, there was something about, definitely for me, there was this, what do certain kinds of women go and do as grown-up jobs. And the women in my world, lots of them used to pencil skirt, 10 denier tights and a 2.5-inch heel and a nice coat, and then you go to work.
We had that was Jo Wood that mentioned that same thing. She said to put on like her first little skirt and the little heels and put a jacket on. She felt like I've made it.
Yeah, my mum always worked in an office environment. It's what I saw my mum go off to do. Yeah, absolutely. So I think that was just that sort of framing. Obviously, people wear all sorts of things to work these days, but that absolutely wasn't the case, 30 years ago. So that was all good.
And how long were you there for?
I was there a couple of years. It was only there was lots of temp contracts that we were all on at that time. So I was on a rolling temp contract, I think, for the best part of a couple of years. But I continued to look for jobs in marketing and just never had a couple of interviews, didn't get anywhere.
She didn't have an NRA.
Yeah, not have the NRA.
You didn't have the NRA.
Lost out there, right? So what did I do after that? I just... an employment agency just waved the details of a job in, as we called it back then, personnel. And I went, oh, go on then, I'll have a go. And rocked up and they wanted me and I didn't want it. And the agency really nagged me to sort of take it. And it was, a little bit more money than I was earning. It was like, I'd done a couple of years. They were making cuts because they were restructuring and merging with the Royal. Mm-hmm. So I knew that probably my time was up there and I needed to do something else. And really, really didn't want the personnel job and ended up taking it just because I thought I'd better.
Yeah.
And I stayed 15 years.
That's
so
always
the
way, yeah. The one you don't want, you're there for half a year.
Yeah, totally. And that was all it was. It was it's this idea of, I can remember my mum and dad telling me, they're a good company, it's a good job. Like, okay, well, that seems as, like you said, it seemed like the next right thing. There was no grand plan.
Yeah.
What's the next thing? Keep moving forward, keep slowly climbing up a ladder, keep buying some nice shoes from time to time, and then you'll get a car, and then you'll maybe get a house, and then you just do the next thing.
So at which point did it become the ladder that you wanted to climb? So when people kind of have this thing of going, I want to go up the ladder, and you then get to like the fourth rung and realise, do you know what am I even climbing this ladder for? I don't even want to do this. And then off you go to the next thing.
I've always been an ambitious little so-and-so, apparently. My mum will tell a story of me in my first few days at infant school. And apparently I came home and said I wasn't happy. So my mum spoke to the teacher and the teacher said, no, she's absolutely fine. The problem is there's one person in the class that's doing better than her. She doesn't like it. So little me
I want to be the best.
Yeah, was quite... I felt that need to do the next thing. And I think that's just followed me through. Like it or not, I've always just seen the next step and gone,
so this is going to sound like a weird and deep question. Did you find HR or did HR find you? And the thing I ask about that is because obviously being ambitious as you are, did you go into personnel or HR and go, yeah, this is something I really want to do? Or actually, this is something I can be very good at. So therefore, I'll do it because I can excel at it rather than I do it because I enjoy it.
Yeah, and it was no great plan. It was no great ambition. I'd done a bit of it in my degree, and it was fine, but it wasn't. It was just the next.
It wasn't
right
marketing,
thing.
Right?
Yeah, it wasn't. It was just the next right thing. It's a perfectly good job in a perfectly good company with opportunity. And I think the moment where I went, yeah, okay, I'm going to lean in now, was after I'd been in it 18 months. I was called to the FD's office suddenly. It's like, this is curious. You kind of do the walk and wonder if it's the walk of doom. You're thinking, what on earth have I done wrong?
We have the rule that says that's Friday 4:45.
Yeah, we do. If we tell our staff,
if anyone's got a Friday, if we've got a Friday 4:45 meeting, it's like, yeah.
Well aware of the late Friday concept. Yeah. But it wasn't a late Friday. So
okay, so it was kind of a bad meeting
mysterious.
then.
Yeah. This was not
a random Wednesday morning.
Either that or just a really sadistic FD that goes, I'm going to fire you
I
at
like to get
9:15
people,
and then make you cry at your desk. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was a very weird kind of summons, and I remember it really, really clearly. And sat down with him, and he was smiling at me, and I was like, "What on earth?" And thought very highly of him, so I thought this might be a good thing. And he said, he told me that my manager had resigned, and in the second sentence said, "Do you want her job?" And I just went, "Yes."
Wow.
And I remember he went, "Fine, leave it with me." Quite a short conversation. And I remember
a great conversation.
I can remember walking out of his office, and as you walked out of that part of the building where there was sort of this little tiny corridor airlock, and the door shut behind me so no one else in the office could see me. And I remember just doing a proper yes, as I walked out into the car park, and I practically hovered all the way back to my desk and then had to eyeball my manager and went, "You got something to tell me?" And yeah. So
was she aware that they offered you the job? Or did
I
she?
can't remember.
Oh, okay.
Probably.
Yeah.
That would have been quite normal. And from that point on, it was just, okay, we're going to support you to get your, as it was their IPD qualification.
Mm-hmm.
Is that okay? Yeah. You want a pay rise? Absolutely.
Tick,
what do you want to do staff-wise? Let you, recruit someone to replace you in turn. Is that all right? Yeah. So that it was, I felt very lucky because they had really, a lot of faith in me, and I just went, yep. And I just really lent in.
Love that.
And so then 13 more years dominating the role.
No, not that many years. I mean, it grew hugely at that point. So I ran all of the function for the UK group up until I did a few years
and without
after
an NRA.
Can you believe it?
Without an NRA, and I'm managing the whole of the UK.
Yep.
I don't know.
Yeah. Maybe it's not so important in HR.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
It really is a marketer, though.
We need some. Is this your campaign to bring back the NRA?
We bring back.
No, I think I'm still.
Back the NRA.
No, I think I'm still just releasing the trauma of spending 5 years stressing about it.
I wonder if they still do it.
They definitely don't.
No, my kids haven't got one. That's for sure.
You definitely know about it if they did.
It'll be some kind of
like
online portfolio now.
It'll be online.
It literally was such.
Go and look at my Instagram.
Hang on, I've got an HR question for you just while we talk about this. How many employers actually go and check what qualifications anyone's got?
It will depend on the field that you're in, because some situations demand that you have got certain qualifications, but there'll be an awful lot that don't check your grade.
Yeah, I mean, that was the thing. It was like, oh, hang on, must go back to school, on your certificate day to get your GCSE certificates, because they need to go in your NRA, and then you'd have the whole thing together. And you'd complete a CV that said, oh, I've got this at this, and I've got this at this, I've got this at this. Okay, no one cared. I think it was at that point where I realised to go, yeah, do you know what? 80% of jobs, a CV gets you an interview, and a good interview gets you a job. The end. But everyone has this, we've got to do this, we've got to do this, got to do this. It's like, yeah, it's just not really.
I think it's changed a lot. I think back then people liked qualifications. I think now it's more about the person. You know what I think? Depending on the job role, obviously, more.
I think it's definitely sector specific. There are some sectors that really, really rely on certain qualifications.
Yeah.
And I think, now I'm watching my own children go through the school system and watching them sort of start thinking about their early careers. Yeah, there has been an awful lot of change. I can confirm there is no mahogany coloured faux leather folder being handed out these days.
Oh. I'm bringing mine to the next breakfast. I've got mine at home still.
Have you still got it?
I think that's a great idea. Let's get everyone to bring their NRAs, and I can sit there with my quill and say that I don't
I'll do
have
that.
one.
Have you still got yours?
I mean,
you better hunt for it. Okay.
Everyone's got to have their best certificate, right? I mean, I still have lots of. I have my GCSE certificates. I have my CIPD qualification certificate. I think we could kind of hoard those in a folder somewhere of some type, don't we? We all like a bit
Everyone
of.
keeps.
Yeah,
my husband always laughs at me. He's got these. He was, as you know, he's part of So Solace. He's got this big platinum plaque on our wall. And he's like, why do you put your medals next to? I said, what medals? He said, your little basketball ones from school. All right, you taking them? He wants me to hang my little medals next to. He said, what's an achievement? Do you know?
There is something.
We've all got an achievement, haven't we?
There is something like looking back, isn't there, and saying,
You could put your RS Eddies next to it.
My RS Eddies?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shelley's on course for an RS Eddie this year, isn't she?
I've still got my little award from last year.
Have you?
Yeah. Can you remember what you gave me? Bear in mind, we are in
Business
NEIT.
professional.
No.
Yeah. Best IT.
Me and Gary from NEIT.
Oh, the nicest people award.
We got Mr. and Mrs. Nice.
That's it.
I've got your award for this year already.
Oh, that's
I know it, but now you've just reminded me.
Have you just worked it out?
No, I've decided what it's going to be because I was going to ask it as a question on the podcast, but now I'm not going to ask it because now we'll just find out when she gets it.
I'm just as confused
I have
as
no
you.
idea.
This is what happens sometimes with Nick. He'll have an idea and then he'll bring this up again to me in like 48 hours and I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, you know what we talked about the other day? No,
yeah.
Totally forgot.
I've got a super brain.
You have.
I mean, it's a super brain. It doesn't work like anyone else's. And so it really confuses the hell out of everyone else. But yeah.
It works for you.
It works for me. Yeah.
Good.
It works for me, but generally this is why they keep me in a room on my own. And I only get to come out like once a month on podcast day. And that's it.
Do you want to come out
Other than that, I just get isolated. They'd like bring me a little treat and say, come on out, you come.
You realise who you're talking to saying all this? That the rest of your team
Director,
just treat you.
Exempt.
Oh, yeah, I'm not.
Yeah, it's fine.
I can't get in trouble.
Don't worry about it.
Anyway.
We call that robust management speak. You know, that's you expect a certain amount of, tussle at your level.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
I can probably give a bit more then.
You do anyway. You're one step off getting a stick and whacking me. Anyway, yeah, moving swiftly on.
From the violin.
Okay, so you've taken over the UK at this point.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, UK level, like HR.
It's taken over the world.
It's
yeah.
like,
No, only UK.
Like,
no NRI.
completed it, mate.
Like 400 staff, Nick. I mean, we're not talking Amazon.
Yeah, hang on. Just 400 obviously,
staff.
Without an NRI. Okay, and then what happened after this?
I had babies.
Okay. So it was time to just take a break from work and stuff?
Yeah, there's no break involved in that whatsoever. I went part-time.
Okay.
And then had the boys. And then at some point, I can't remember, in a blur of a decade of very little sleep, I had an opportunity to leave there and take a role with a charity. So I did that. Started very, very few hours, but they really, really suited me because I could do what I want to do family-wise and keep my hand in. That was sort of the phrase that was in my head.
What was the charity?
It's a charity still around, Bows and Arrows in Ipswich. It's a childcare charity, operates 7 outstanding settings around town, deliberately in areas of higher deprivation.
Mm-hmm.
And they run most amazing small settings around Ipswich in the parts of town that me and my family come from, which really spoke to me. And then they do very quietly all the supportive work underneath, like special educational needs support, family support. And I moved there as HR manager initially when it was just 2, and then was there as we grew it to 8.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. And so after several years of being there, me being me and charities being charities, through that growth, the co-CEO or CEO at the time just sort of said to me, look, I want you to do this with me. Let's find a way of doing this together. So she and I became co-CEOs. So I was in charge of doing all the business stuff, if you like. So I had as well as HR, I had the IT, finance, worked really closely with the trustees on the governance, and she looked after primarily the education, safety, safeguarding, that kind of stuff. So I did that for several years through COVID, which was
interesting.
Let's just say interesting. Yeah.
You also now Semi had a role in marketing.
Of course.
She finally got her role in marketing.
I did get a little bit of marketing. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I mean, you must have done a good job because otherwise it wouldn't have grown the size it did.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely a team effort, and shout out to Anne Denny, who did and continues to do the most amazing job in that organisation. And it kind of gave me a real joy of charity. So where I can, I'm always working with small charities around Suffolk now, and really love that. There's something very distinct about working with charities, working for profit. Lots of similarities, so we easily bounce between the two in terms of what I do. But there's some amazing charity leaders in Suffolk doing fantastic work above and beyond. And got to give them their due for that.
Yeah.
I love working with them.
And then from there,
well, that was how I ended up with
the
Raspberry
big
HR.
step.
Yeah. I'd been with Bose quite some time, and we built it to a point where, pretty stable, good shape. No, all the big plans, all the big moves had been made to get it into good nick. And someone asked me out of the blue, "Well, will you retire here?" And I have never said no more quickly or loudly about everything. It kind of shot from over my shoulder one day, and I had to stop and really listen to that, because it was a very sort of guttural response. No problem with my job. Absolutely no problem with the amazing people I was working with, but there was something that I was like, wow.
You couldn't see yourself.
I've done my bit, You got to know when to leave the party. I've always been a big believer in. So it's like, okay, well, what is next? And I've got, 2 boys who are coming to the end of primary school, about to go into high school, and they don't need me much at that point.
Mm-hmm.
What am I going to do? What am I going to do for the rest of my career? What am I going to build for me? I was about to turn 50. And so it was a bit, right, okay, what does the next bit look like? So that was sort of that classic mix of scary and really, really exciting. And I will particularly always remember one conversation that I had with a friend of mine who's an employment solicitor. And she was on the phone asking me if I was in a position yet, because I toyed with the idea with her a bit. Would you take on this piece of work? And I said, I'm not. I'm just not ready. I'm not insured. I haven't made the leap. I haven't told anyone that this is on my mind. And she went quiet as only she can. And if she listens to this, she'll know exactly who she is. And she sort of did this sigh at the end of the phone. And I know exactly where I was when I heard her say this, and just went, for God's sake, when are you just going to do this? And that sometimes that's just that kick that you need from someone you really trust and hold in high regard to go, okay, I need to think about this.
Which law firm was it? Shan't
be saying. She knows who she is.
What's her name start with? Do we know her? Is she on LinkedIn?
No, I don't know. Is she on
LinkedIn? Can we tag her in?
She probably stays.
We need to tag her into the episode.
Okay, I'll think about it.
Or Shelly can just share the episode with her.
I'll definitely share it.
Okay.
Definitely.
Anyway, big up the random solicitor. Janet,
it doesn't matter who it is it? It's those people in our lives who talk to us really, really plainly
Rebecca.
And call us out.
We can always make.
I'm just going to keep mentioning names. He's going to get something.
Ignore my co-host. We can always make excuses, can't we, for why we don't want to do something.
Mm.
And until someone says, worst is going to happen, just give it a go. Do it.
Yeah. And the other person who did that really was
Kate.
Sharon.
I'm just wondering how long this is going to go on. I might get emails from Nick for hereafter.
Well, I won't. I mean, at the end of the day, there's only probably like 10, 15 big firms of solicitors. I'll just find Shelley's connections and work out which one's an employment solicitor.
It's really quite stalky. There's just...
I'll get there eventually. I'll get my team of researchers onto it as well.
You'll get a restraining order.
Yeah. Yeah, literally, Shelley's going to see tomorrow. Nick looked at your profile. Nick looked at your profile. Nick looked at your profile.
Every hour.
Yeah,
all right, fine. Yeah.
Welcome to our show.
Yeah. So I can't even remember what I was talking about now.
Your friend.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Kate.
Okay.
Kate.
Yeah, who will call
Sharon.
Kate.
No, we've moved. So I think the next moment really was thinking about that. And I had one of those proper sobby, snotty, slide down the fridge nights when I'd just gotten to, there was particular deadlines or things that had gone on, and I literally slid down the fridge onto the kitchen floor and was like, okay, enough now. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
And to be completely fair to my husband, he just, because he's very chill, did exactly what you said, Jem. He just went, well, just do it. What's the worst thing that's going to happen? And he said, because I know if you need to, you'll go and stack beans up Asda.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, of course I will. So I went, well, what are you worried about then?
Give it a go. And if it doesn't work,
we'll do it. We can cover our ass for 3 months. Go out and make it happen. So I had 3 months to make it happen. Good. And I billed my first invoice after 2 months. And I just went.
Do you know what? I love this story. And I love this story because there's so many people that said, yeah, I took the plunge. And it's like, oh, you went from nothing. And went, well, no, because I had 6 people that had guaranteed me contracts. So I kind of knew I could get started on those. And then, but and this is the thing it takes me back to the beginning of RSED. And when I started RSED, for 6 months, I knew I was going to do something, but until 3 months before, I didn't know what it was going to be. And literally, I hadn't planned to do accounts. I was going to do this or this or this. And I literally went, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to do something by myself. And the moment I decided I was doing accountancy, a few people had asked me, and I said, yeah, this is what I'm going to do. And they said, oh, can I come and be a client? Because I knew a few people that I'd helped out in the past. And I said, no. They said, what do you mean? I said, well, I'm still doing a job right now, and I'm not going to push what I'm going to be doing. This is not what my job is. I'll promote it when I start, not before. And I remember sitting with a laptop, and I sat there and went, what the hell have I done on day one? And I go, I've got no income, a mortgage. I can get 3 months on credit cards and whatever else I need to do. But yeah, really similar. I had Natasha, Doris, who just said, just do it. Just go ahead and do it. Just be happy.
And for us, he'd done the same thing about 15 years before. So I've come from a family where there are lots of small business. There are lots of people doing their own thing, tradies. He took the leap 15 years ago in somewhat similar circumstances. So I had around me all sorts of people who were like, look, I do it. You can do it. I mean, my stepdad was especially pivotal in that, just giving me the faith to, just get up, do it, hustle, lean in, do it properly. No
if you're going to do it, give it your all. Yeah,
if you're going to fail with no regrets.
If you're not going to achieve,
that.
then
Really love that phrase. And I went to, as I will always tell people, how did you get started? I just went to the opening of an envelope. I went everywhere I could to just meet people, which is no hardship for me. I just love it. People are fascinating. Yeah. And particularly people with business stories. Yeah. I find them absolutely fascinating. So it's absolutely no hardship to just go out and you make that, making friends, but then taking the next step to ask for some work.
Yeah.
And it happened. And so I've just done 3rd business birthday. Yay.
Woo.
And
Congrats.
Thank you. It's not until you do it, is it, that you realise that kind of length of time is an achievement. And I have to recognise
it's insanity is what it is.
Because absolutely.
This is the thing everyone goes, right. And it's like, no. You really must be insane. Here's how it works. You are going to most likely earn less money than you earn when you were working. You're going to work longer hours. You're going to go through more stress. You're going to have an uncertainty to know if you're even going to get paid any month ever, on any time ever. And you're going to love it. And you will never go back, despite the fact that all of it is worse.
Yeah, we talk about...
And I'm like, yeah.
We at home, we talk about being unemployable.
Yes.
And that's absolutely, but with joy. It is, but you absolutely, the hustle never stops. The ideas never stop coming, and you just have to...
It's great. I have the other way around now. So I have this thing of going, am I doing the right thing? Should I keep doing it? And then you have the fear of, or get a job and go, I'll keep going. Thanks. This is fine. Yeah, I'll find a way to make it work.
Yeah, it's so true. I think, and I am grateful that it's a mix, isn't it? So I don't think that it's all luck, but I think luck plays a part. Mm-hmm. You have to, if you see the open door, that's the lucky bit, but you have to get off your backside and walk through it.
Of course you do, yeah.
It's amazing to be 3 years in now and feel like this is real, and then you sort of think again, okay, what do you want next? And I feel really well settled. I feel like I've kind of hit my groove, and I've got some fabulous clients. I love to be just in everybody. And I know you feel this in the kind of work that you both do, that it's such a privilege to be allowed into someone's business and that community and be on their side and champion them and help them out of the holes that they land in.
It's being part of their team. We want to be part of the
And the thing that I really love, and again, I think Shelly's hit the nail on the head, to have that point of feeling privileged, that people will open up to you. Mm. They'll go along and I can sit there and talk to someone and they're going, here's a problem with my business. Here's money I owe out. Here's the problem I'm in. It's like, have you spoken to your wife about it? Nope. I came to talk to you.
A lonely place for a lot of people.
It's horrendous. People don't know it until they do it. And when they do it, yes, it's tough.
Business is hard.
But it's nice to know, and this is why, I try and surround myself by the people that A, get it, but B, share the same passion. It's what I've always said about you. I don't have any qualms ever in telling anyone with an HR problem to come and talk to you, because there's never anything's too small, anything's too big, anything is insurmountable, anything can't be resolved. But you're one of those people that's never going to judge. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's lovely, and I think business people need that, because they always have this thing of going, oh no, I'm going to be considered to be such a bad employer because this, or someone's going to judge me and say you shouldn't have done this, or why did you do that?
Do you find that in what you do that's true? I will often find new clients who say, I'm kind of embarrassed to tell you this, and I've probably done it all horribly
wrong. We get it all the time.
We had someone who came into our office with 2 carrier bags. Now, most people will go, oh, with receipts. Yeah, we've all heard this story from accountants. Yeah. No. Brown envelopes from HMRC. Their mental health was too bad. They couldn't open them.
Didn't open any of them.
So it was a new client that kind of came in and said, I know I'm in trouble, but I have no idea how much, and I can't open these.
Can we just sit here?
Can you just sit here and open them? And we said, yeah, that's fine. So literally they left them with us so we could go through everything and then sit down and talk to them one-on-one on like, look, this is where you are. And now let's go through how we can put a plan in place to fix everything.
And what an honour to be trusted with someone in such a difficult, heartbreaking situation.
I mean, they literally were, they were not in a good place. No. Really not in a good place. But it was the fear of, they didn't know. They just took the worst that could happen. So inside these envelopes were like, in their head, it's court summons, you're going to prison, we're coming to arrest you tomorrow. What, and this is what they're thinking. So every day, every knock at the door, every this was always, they're coming for you. And literally it was like, oh yeah, you've missed this thing. Here's a fine and here's some interest and here's some penalties. And, you earn this much. You went, is that it?
A small business is, I think, not uniquely, very much like that. As a leader, as an owner, founder, whatever you want to call yourself, it's real. It's the stuff that keeps you up at night. Mm-hmm. And sometimes you are completely on your own in that place. So the importance of surrounding yourself with sort of trusted advisors
is vital.
Whether it be IT people, marketing people, whoever you feel that you can bring into your little world and trust them to not only move your business along, but be by your side and support you and champion you.
Well, it's those people you can just be honest with.
So true.
Which is why having these open conversations, even when it comes to network and even with the podcast, even when you recommend and refer people, it's to let people know this happens. You're not on your own. You're not the only one that's not achieved it first time round. It's business. It's hard. It's tough.
That's exactly what I've seen over the last 3 years with so much networking. Is I have been so pleasantly surprised how many people genuinely stand in front of you and they want to help you. They want to give you advice. They want you to happily give you, that I've had that experience exactly. Yeah. Why don't we go and have coffee? And I think it's possible. Certainly, I've never obviously networked anywhere else but Ipswich and Suffolk. But consistently, it's a community, in my experience, of people who really want to see you succeed and really don't want you to be alone.
I had such a weird emotional moment like a couple of years ago. And I remember it was, I know you won't mind me saying, it was when James Roper, and he first started self-employed. And I think he'd come to one of our events before, but before he'd got like license to trade or whatever it was. Mm-hmm. And he'd come just to meet people. And I think the second time he stood up and he said, oh yeah, I'm pleased to announce that I've started my own business. And the entire room applauded him. And it was such that nice thing of going, do you know what? All these people know what a massive step you've taken, what a huge gamble you've taken. And you could just see the genuine support and encouragement for him to do it. And I love that about the community we've got. I love that, the community we have in this area, that everyone is so willing to help and willing to support all the new businesses that are starting. It's such a lovely thing to see.
It is. It's a really lovely feeling. I remember the first proper networking event that I went to, and I'd done networking in a previous life, which was way back then, sort of in the late 90s, early 2000s. It was far more suited and booted, and it was that, there's a lot of business cards being moved around, and I really didn't know what I was supposed to be doing there. So I was a little bit reticent to go through it again. And the first one I did was a big one I think it was like a big Larkin Gowan event over at Milsom's Kesgrave Hall. Beautiful venue, full of, all these grown-ups with their own businesses and with their business cards. And I can remember standing there and saw a friendly face to say hello to. And then, as you say, Nick, there were several people who I said, this is the first week of me working on my own. And everybody, without fail, was, I would say, the word is probably jubilant. They would say, oh, this is Shelly. She's just started the business just this week.
Yeah.
Everyone was really congratulatory. And I think there is so much support and positivity for you when you make this kind of leap. But it shouldn't be underestimated how scary it is for so many people. But it can be done.
Can I ask you some questions about your business?
Yes.
In your business, do you represent business only, or will you look after the little people too?
The thing about what we do in HR is that we're generally allowed to advise employers only.
Okay.
There is some licensing required to support employees, and you'll find that not even employment solicitors, not all of them will support employees. It is quite a different piece of work.
Mm-hmm.
That said, I think any HR professional out there will recognise that when you are supporting the employer, you are always supporting the relevant employee or employees as well, because ultimately the name of the game in most of what we do day to day is about bringing people together and resolving problems so that everybody comes out of it in better shape.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's more difficult than others, but ultimately you're trying to move at least two people through a situation.
Do you ever get into the dilemma situation where you well, you've got the person who's paying your bill, but you go, they're a bit of a dick to their employees?
You get
do you just get paid to just go stop being a dick?
No, all my career I think again you learn very quickly that your job is to find this path of advice. You must find this as well, whereby you have to be respectful to the person who's either paying your bill or paying your salary, but your job is to provide balance and call them out.
Yeah.
But the way that you go about that, I think, is whether you will be successful in HR. And the
telling someone to stop being a dick is not probably the route to success.
No, I have absolutely, and directors who have worked for me while I was employed or not, I have said those probably precise words to people.
I can totally imagine Shelly saying those words.
Absolutely, and that's, I am happy to have robust conversations. My directors, when I was employed or when I have them now, I consider them my peers. I consider it my job to say, if you are being a dick, I will tell you.
Mm-hmm.
But I will also tell you but what I think we could probably do to get you to the same end is this.
So you're not as much of a dick.
Yeah.
No, it might be like that. Because
it's constructively calling someone out for being a dick.
You have to, what you do is you have to look under why are they feeling like that?
Yeah.
Because what might be perhaps what they're proposing is just extreme.
Yeah.
But you do get it. People do have good logic underneath the emotion. So it's about drilling down into that.
Mm-hmm.
What are you really worried about? What's the worst case scenario? What outcome do you want?
Yeah.
And then navigating through that, creating some kind of solution with them to get them to where everybody needs to go. And there is a lot of acknowledging that, I know it's sort of sandwiched in a way typically. I know why you feel in that way. This is frustrating for you. This is not the outcome you were hoping for. But let's try and do it. Most of my work is about managing risk. So it's okay, well, I see where you're trying to go. I see what outcome you're kind of looking for here. The risk of that is doing that. And one thing I always say, and I've always said, do you know what? It's not my business. It's always your decision. You always are the ultimate decision maker. My job is to make sure you understand the risk so you do whatever you're going to do in full knowledge.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then you do what you like.
Yeah, you're empowering them to make an informed decision.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm never going to sit opposite you, suck my teeth and go, oh, you can't do that. Do what you like. It's your business, but do it eyes wide open.
Yeah. I love that. Right, hang on. You ready for your quickfire questions?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so quick fire
Got a
questions.
test.
Are you scoring this, Jen?
Yeah, I am.
If you could have your time again, would you go back into HR?
Yes, but then I could have happily done lots of other things.
Okay. If you had your time again, would you go self-employed earlier?
Oh, good one.
Oh, that's a good question.
A little bit earlier, but from a family point of view, I don't think I could have done what I've done these last few years.
Okay.
Had it have been when my kids were small.
They were
I
still
couldn't
smaller.
have-
Yeah.
No,
And would you like my final wrap-up question of today?
go for it.
What do you hope tomorrow brings you?
Literally tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
No idea, Nick.
A hard
Longer
question.
term.
Yeah.
I just want to continue feeling like I'm being effective, well balanced with everything that's going on in my world. And secure, probably. I love the idea of the next 10 years, the rest of my career being a really stable, positive time. But, not in isolation, because we run our businesses and we do our jobs, but there's a whole lot more to life beyond that. And it's just one slice of what you need to pay attention to.
100%. Shelley, thank you.
Love that.
Thank you.
Shelley?